Buongiorno and welcome again to Venice. Although actually what we're doing, we're actually in the lagoon. And if you're thinking that church there is a little bit, the spire is a little bit wonky, it certainly is. It's certainly, I don't know what the degree of angle is of lean. I don't think it's quite up to the Leaning Tower of Pisa's dimensions or whatever. But anyway, here we are. We're actually in an island called Burano. We're on a little trip. And if you're wondering where Julie is, if I come round, you might see her in a minute, because she's blending in very well to the house, because this island is famed for its wonky bell tower, also for its lace making, and also for the colour of the houses. We thought it's quite a good wheeze. If you want to get a load of tourists to your out of the way island in the middle of the lagoon in Venice, get them to paint all their houses different colours, and there you go. So right, I'm going to come up, but you staying there, you're coming over here. Come over here. Come over here. So we've had a wander, and I mean, as you can see, the weather isn't that great. We've actually had a little bit of rain today, but what we'd already booked before we came here. We booked a couple of fancy meeting you here. Yeah, you blended in front of my house. Yeah, you blended in so well today. I nearly lost you then. Chance to be a fine thing, but. So I was just saying, we booked a couple of things before we came, didn't we? One was a gondola ride, as we mentioned yesterday, and the other was this trip through the islands. Do you want to explain? Because you actually booked it, because you've always wanted to come to this one, haven't you? Because you'd heard about it. And,
yeah.
And Murano, we went to Murano. Anyway, sorry, carry on.
Do I get to talk now? I wanted to do the boat tricks. I think it's always really interesting to be able to place somewhere you're visiting in the context.
Do you want me to do this now?
No. Of the surrounding landscape. And where we're staying in Marghera, we actually have about a 15-minute bus ride onto the island of Venice,
the main island.
We all think of the main island. There's actually about 100 islands there, which I didn't realise.
We realised today is how big the lagoon is while going around. Sorry,
so because it's a lagoon, the water's really is like glass. Yeah. So we come across this, it's about a couple of metre long bridge onto the main.
2 metres, a bit longer than 2 metres.
Couple of kilometres.
It's been a long day, isn't it? Yeah, carry on. So yes, and it is, and the lagoon is actually quite shallow as well. You can see that all the way along. But yeah, we've had a wander around. Last night we went to the Dosadoro area once again and found a great square. Was it San Margherita?
Yes. Which
we mentioned, and it's a real buzzy little square. We were talking yesterday about how it's I ordered that.
Oh yeah.
But there's only one. Well, come on.
Oh, come on.
One's
it's just
not
a very
good enough.
small
Well, it's a wonky bell. See, it's probably just done it on his own. The wind caught it, and bang, here we go. So yes, a lovely place. Once again, the locals type of square. One thing we do like to do when we come to places. Yes, we've been to St Mark's Square. We've obviously done all the touristy things, which is what people do. It's what they come and to see these things. But we try and get out of the way a bit and try and get under the skin of a place. Hence, coming to places like this as well, which is obviously a lot quieter. Yes, it's a bit of a touristy trail, isn't it? I know. But the area that we were yesterday, and we wandered down there again today, didn't we? And had coffee, and the only people around were locals. So it's great. But you've got a great story, actually. When we went to check in for this little excursion this afternoon, we went to the desk, but Julie went there, and you want to say that about the Oriental person.
And we were reading something coming over on the plane, weren't we, about how people tick off places to visit.
Literally they're stepping a foot into a country just so to say they've been there.
So the two girls in front of me in the queue to check in for this trip handed over their ticket, and the girl at the kiosk took great delight in telling them that actually that particular ticket was for Florence.
You're actually in Venice.
We're in Venice.
So that, unfortunately, that's the way it is with the cruise ships and that. I mean, and they've had the thing here recently with the cruise ships. You might have seen there was a video online about a cruise ship actually bashing into one of the landing stages right near to St Mark's Square. And they used to have these cruise ships used to moor literally across from St Mark's Square, so you'd see them. Thankfully, they've literally just stopped that within this last month, because they're we've seen a couple being towed out, back into the wide world, and they're huge. And we've seen bits of graffiti and things like that actually before they stopped them, saying, you know, stop this, it's spoiling the view. And I can imagine it must be horrendous, but it's a busy place. But it's been good, isn't it? I mean, quite enjoyed this. I mean, we've been rushed around a little bit to see these things. But it's been great, as I said, to get it into perspective, as Julie said, and see how big the actual lagoon is. Because you just think of Venice as Venice. You might have heard of Murano glass, but you probably haven't been to the island. But at least we have, and we saw some glass blowing and everything.
We did.
And we did get sent through the gift shop, and we actually bought a couple of little bits of Murano glass. They're quite small. They're the rejects probably. But anyway, so we're going to get back on the boat very, very shortly, back to Venice tonight, and then find somewhere nice to eat, and then we're back tomorrow, hoping to fit in a couple of things in the morning if we possibly can. So we'll leave you with the wonky tower and the little painted houses.
Little painted houses. We've got to find a blue one now.
We're going to try and find a blue one so that I can blend in. And you can't see, there's Julie's house. Anyway, we'll see you again some other time, no doubt. Ciao.
Ciao.